Today I will make origami sumo wrestlers. I'm using a square sheet of computer paper, and this one happens to be an 8.5 by 8.5. I'm going to fold it in half once, trying to make sure to line my corners up as best as I possibly can. I'm using my finger to push the fold down to make sure I get a nice crease. Then I'm going to open my paper and I'm going to turn it and fold it in half again. This will give me a cross in the center of my paper. I'm making sure to get my corners matched up and a nice crease along that edge. So you can see when I open up the paper, I have this nice cross section right in the middle, okay? Now, once I've opened it and I have my two folds, I'm going to go ahead and fold it again. This time I'm going to turn it so it's like a diamond, and I'm going to take the bottom corner and bring it up to the center. So I'm going to line it up where that cross meets right in the middle. I'm going to go ahead and hold it down with one hand and then use the other hand to flatten it out so I get a nice crease there as well. Then I'm going to turn the paper and do that again with this corner. So bringing it up towards the center, lining it up carefully, pulling that down and creasing the bottom edge so I get a nice crisp fold. Then I will go ahead and turn my paper, rotate it, and fold the next corner in towards the center. Pull down and give it a nice crease along the end. Then I will turn it one more time and fold the last corner into the center so that they all meet up right at the middle, and I have a nice crease again right where my fold is. All right, at this point, I have my four corners turned in. I'm going to go ahead and flip my paper over to the back, and I'm going to have it like a diamond in front of me. And right on this right side here, I want this line to fold into the center line. So the bottom right line, fold into the center line where they match up nice and neat. So you can see both lines are touching now. I line them up with one hand, and then I'm going to go ahead and fold that together with my other hand, making sure I get a nice crisp edge. So from there to there. Then I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. So I want that bottom line to come in and meet up with the center line. So I'm going to go ahead and fold the left side in so it kind of looks like a kite. I'm going to make sure that my edges meet up nice and cleanly, and then I get a nice solid fold, crisp line here along the outside. Make sure to push down with my fingers to get a nice crisp fold along this outside edge. All right, I have my kite. My edges are nice and folded. It's solid, it's together. You can see both edges came in towards the middle to create this shape. Now if I lift up my piece, there should be some flaps on the back here, and I'm going to pull those out to the front. So you can see on the back here, I've got these flaps along the bottom that I'm going to open up and pull out on both sides. So now I actually have a diamond shape or a square that's here along the bottom. You can see this square shape right here. And then I've got these two little triangles and then the big triangle on the top. I'm going to take the bottom point of my shape here and then fold it up to the center point to make a triangle. And I'm going to use my fingers to push down so that that is a nice crisp fold. So bottom point up to the center point here to make a triangle. Get a nice crisp fold on the bottom. Then I'm going to take the top part of the triangle that I just made and just fold it down a little bit. It really doesn't matter how far you go with this. I'm just going to do it a little bit. Then I'm lifting up my entire shape, and my top triangle here needs to go in the back. So I'm going to push that back like that so it's even with this top line. If you need to flip it around, you can do that. And then I'm going to make sure that crease is nice and strong. So I had it like this. I pushed my triangle back and I folded over to the other side. Next, I'm going to bring this point of the triangle up and it's going to overlap the top. This is going to be the head of the sumo wrestler. So you decide how big you want your head to be. And then I'm going to go ahead and add a crease there so that I have the head, the two arms, and the legs. And then to make them stand, I just have to fold them in half. So I'm going to fold them in half towards the inside here. And again, make sure this crease is nice and strong. And now I have a sumo wrestler who can stand up all by himself. Okay, so you can see him from all the different angles. He's all ready to go and fight. All right, at this point I'm going to make a couple more. So if you missed any of the steps, you can go ahead and watch again. Or if you want to try your hand at making a second one too, because you do need 2 sumo wrestlers to fight, you can do that. So I'm going to make 2 more sumo wrestlers so that they can have a nice little fighting match against one another. All right, now that I have 2 sumo wrestlers, they are ready to fight. To create the wrestling mat, I'm using a wooden board. This is just a board I use for drawing and painting. And then I found a big circle that I could trace. This is the top of a Tupperware container. I'm just tracing it with a Sharpie. And it should be a big enough circle that both sumo wrestlers can fit in very easily, but you still want to have a little bit of space on the outside of the board. So this is going to be my little wrestling mat that I'm going to use. It's just a wooden board, and you can see that my 2 sumo wrestlers easily fit inside. Now for the match, I'm going to put something under my board. I've got these like little pieces of paper that you could use, maybe a stack of paper, something so that the board is a little bit wobbly underneath. So even if it's just a stack of computer paper or some envelopes or something, so that when you press on the board, it shakes. And all you do is you can press down anywhere outside of the circle, no fingers allowed on the inside, and you move your fingers around the board trying to get the other person's sumo wrestler out. They lose if their person goes out of the board or if they fall over. So you don't want to be whacking the board so hard that the wrestlers fall over, but you do want it enough to get them moving around the board. So here the yellow one almost went out, but gladly got saved, and now the blue one's headed towards the edge and ended up going across the circle, so blue lost. All right, I hope you have fun with this. Thanks so much for watching, and please join me for more fun art tutorials on Elke Art. Have a good one.